How are you?
I'm really good. It's my
Good.
day off, so I'm pretty excited about that.
Yeah. So I take it you work a real job when you're not touring.
Yeah, we all do.
Yeah. You guys are an unsigned band, correct?
Hmm.
How does that? How do you make it work without any support?
Well, we have a really strong structure, like within the band. We all work together really well. Me and Mike, who is the singer, we do a lot of this stuff, and we, try to book all of our own tours, and we pay to have our own merch printed, and we do a lot of our own promotion. Until now that we got picked up by Blackheart Group, I think that they're gonna really help us a lot. They've already helped us a lot by getting our video out there and stuff like that. But
Mm-hmm.
I mean, before that, we just, like anything we make from shows or from merch or iTunes sales or anything like that, we just all put in one, fund for the band, and then, when it comes time to go record a music video, we use all the money we've saved up. Or if we need new tires for the van, we use that money, or gas, or
Right.
just anything like that. And then, sometimes when the band fund gets low, I'm like, all right, guys, let's everyone throw in, 20 or 30 bucks. And then, there's six of us, so that gets us a little bit more going in there.
Right. Right. It. You guys independent. You don't really. You got a couple of EPs out and stuff like that. How hard it is? Is it really? Do you make your money from shows?
Well, we make a little bit of money. We definitely have to do quite a few to have it actually add up because, especially gas prices these days,
Yeah.
a lot of times the guarantees that we do make, that's our gas money to get to the next place.
Right. Especially now.
Yeah, so it's not as easy as it used to be. But I mean, I don't know. It's something that we all want to do more than anything. So we'll do whatever we have to do. If we have to come out of our own pocket, sometimes we do.
Right.
It's worth it to us.
Right. Now, tell me a bit about Surrounded by Monsters. How did you guys come together? How did you all bring your unique styles to create what you have now?
Well, Surrounded by Monsters originally got together in 2007, I believe, and that was a group of guys. Lee is actually the only original member, and he plays guitar.
Mm-hmm.
And then it was Asian Mike was also in the band, and he is now the bass player for I Wrestled a Bear Once.
Mm-hmm.
He left our band to go be with them, and then we got Joe, who's been in the band for about a year and a half. Me and Mike came in about 2.5 years ago. Mike played for another local band, and then that band and Surrounded by Monsters played a few shows together, and then they stole him because he was good. And then it was weird because, me and Mike were hanging out, and then they didn't know that we were hanging out, and then they asked me to try out for keyboards. So
Mm-hmm.
I got into the band a couple days before Mike did. And I don't know, it's just been awesome ever since.
Right.
When me and Mike got in the band, I'd say like probably 6 months after that, Asian Mike decided that he was going to leave for I Wrestled a Bear Once, and he had really been the main one in Surrounded by Monsters to do a lot of the booking and promoting and all that kind of stuff. So when he left, it just, me and Mike kind of took it over and just went full force with it, and that's what we've continued to do. It's what we think about and what we do all day, every day. Even when I'm at work, I'm constantly trying to do stuff for the band.
Yeah. I
Off on my phone, promoting and talking to people. And
tell me a little bit about why you got into music, you personally.
well, let's see. Let me think back that many years ago. Well, I was always brought up around music,
Mm-hmm.
even though my mom liked crappy stuff like Celine Dion and Mariah Carey and stuff like that, and my dad was really into like Loverboy, and he liked that Casey and the Sunshine Band a lot. So it wasn't necessarily good music, but they both were really, really into what they liked. Like, it wasn't just something where they would just play it on the radio, in the car. They always had music playing, and they were always really into it. And so I grew up around it. And then I guess when I was about 12, I was going through kind of a rough time in my life, and I just found like a comfort in it, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
It just made sense to me. Certain bands would just make me feel better, and then I decided I was going to try to be a badass and learn how to play guitar. So I joined this crappy little cover band, never have picked up an instrument in my life, and they kind of showed me a few things, and I just got really, really interested in it. And I mean, back then there wasn't YouTube or anything like that, so you just kind of had to teach yourself, which is what I did. I've been playing guitar now for almost 14 years, and the same with keyboard, and I've never had a lesson or anything. I just kind of play by ear.
Right.
It was just something that, like no matter what sort of dumb drama was going on when you're, 12, 13, 14 years old, you can always just go jam with your friends, even though you guys can't get through a Smashing Pumpkins song without totally butchering it. It still makes you feel better.
Yeah. You smile at the end of it and go, you know what, at least I'm doing something.
Well, yeah, I smiled. I felt like we did a great job.
Tell me about your influences musically. Where do you come from in the musical world? What influences you? What kind of stuff do you latch on to?
It's funny because I actually don't even really like a lot of metal music.
Mm-hmm.
I really like Bjork and Tori Amos and Massive Attack,
Mm-hmm.
Portishead, and I love Fear Before. They're probably my favorite band. And Circus Survive is really good.
Mm-hmm.
Dredge, stuff like that. It's more chill stuff.
Right.
I mean, I listen to Under Oath and stuff like that sometimes. I really like Under Oath, but it's like I have to be in the mood for it.
Right. How is it being a woman in a genre that's dominated by men?
It's awesome. Super awesome, because I've always, my entire life, I've been a girl who wanted to do things that girls couldn't do. I was a body piercer for 9 years, and that's predominantly a male industry.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to be in a band and not just like a stupid pop band, because girls do that kind of stuff all the time. I didn't want to be your generic girl bass player,
Mm-hmm.
like that. I wanted to actually be a part of it and get respected, and I even tried to learn how to ride BMX bikes for a minute. That didn't work out. But it's really awesome because the guys in my band are my family, and they're the closest people in my life, and just getting to be with them all the time and to tour them, it's amazing. And I don't feel like I'm an outsider. I don't feel like I'm a girl in the band. I feel like, we're all just a family. I mean, they make jokes about me being a girl all the time, but
Right.
It's kind of just all in fun.
Yeah, I've spent a lot of time in a van on the floor, so I know what the camaraderie is like when you're flipping jokes back and forth at each other. So I get that. I can't imagine you'd escape it.
Well, I think that you have to be a special type of girl to do it, because it does get pretty like stinky and ramped, and it's a different kind of lifestyle. And like guys, I don't know how in detail I can get on your interviews thing, but they're guys, and they talk about gross guy stuff, and you have to really be able to hang with it and just throw it directly back.
Yeah.
And and it's like the same thing. I work at Guitar Center. That's a extremely male dominated place to work, and
Yep.
it's the same kind of thing. Like, you can't be like a foo-foo girl and be around musicians all the time.
Right.
And that's like the complete opposite side of it. But
Yeah, absolutely. What's next on the list for you guys for Surrounded by Monsters? Are you looking for a deal, or do you guys want to stay independent and keep doing it yourselves? We're
really just going to take it as it comes. Of course, we want to do this professionally. We want we all want to be able to quit our jobs and just live in the van. That's kind of a dream that we all have. I want to do this for as long as I possibly can. So we're definitely interested in a deal, and this management group that we're with is amazing, and they have some big plans for us. Steven from I Wrestled a Bear Once is a co-manager.
Mm-hmm.
He's in the Blackheart group now, and they're actually in Europe right now for, I think, like 20 more days or something like that. And then when he gets back, they don't want to do a whole lot without him because he's co-managing. So when he gets back, they really want to get the ball rolling for us, and they're really great guys. And just, we don't want any sort of a crappy deal, of course, because we're not big by any means, but I feel like we are doing okay and maybe a little bit better than some local bands do because we're extremely driven and, we are really trying to understand the business side of it. Mm-hmm. We've gotten a couple of really crappy offers and, turned them down because truth is, like, with the offers that we got, I feel like we can do better on our own, but we definitely wouldn't turn down a good offer. This is what we want to do, all of us, and we're all 100% dedicated to it.
It's interesting. Some of the older bands say that they don't need a deal anymore because they've established their fan base and they don't need anybody to really put the product out for them anymore. They can do it themselves, and they think that that's more of the model that bands should be going with. What do you guys think about that? What do you think about the idea of doing it yourself and reaping the rewards from that?
I completely agree with that. I mean, obviously, like in this day, it's a lot harder to get a deal. It seems like, especially promoters around Texas, it seems like a pyramid scheme to me because, everyone here is like playing on the dreams of younger bands, and it's like a good example would be, a promotion company here will be like, okay, hey, local 16-year-old bands, you want to play with the Chariot? Well, we're going to give you a chance. You only have to sell us $1,000 worth of pre-sale tickets, and we'll let you play a show with the Chariot. And then, they get 5 bands to do that, and then, okay, well, the promoter has $5,000. He can pay the guarantee, pocket all the money, and now these kids bring all the fans. I mean, I thought, a bunch of people are going to come to see the Chariot anyways, but like it didn't used to be that way. You could play a show with your band, and you could make $100 guarantee. And you feel like you accomplished something, and it kind of sucks because it's not the way it used to be. It's a lot harder to get anywhere because it seems like people are just figuring out more and more ways to get themselves ahead, and I don't know,
I blame LA. LA did that whole sort of pay-to-play thing, and it's just breached out to the rest of the country.
It has, and it's really sad, and fortunately we're at the point now where we don't have to do that anymore, but I mean, we did go through that stage, and it's frustrating, and it makes me sad for, I'll see a lot of young kids working at Guitar Center that, are in their bands and always coming in there trying to pre-sale stuff, and it bums me out. We're actually playing a tiny little local show here on the 28th with, kids that are in a couple bands that just come into Guitar Center just because, I set up the show and stuff, and just because I want them to be able to play a show without having to do all that. We're not getting paid for it or anything. We just want them to have a good show and have a good time.
And get a little bit of experience underneath their belt and see how it really should be.
Right, without having to worry about, oh man, we're in high school, how are we going to come up with $500 or $1,000 or anything like that, just to go and play a show. And I wish it could be more like that, mean, it used to be like you play a Battle of the Bands and you get on a show, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not you play a Battle of the Bands and then if you win the Battle of the Bands, you have to pre-sell so many tickets to get on the show. It's not fair anymore, and
it's a popularity contest.
We've had opportunities and we haven't taken them because we feel like we could do better. Obviously we do want help, and I feel like the guys that we're with now are not shysty in any way. I feel like they're really, really good dudes, and I completely trust them. And I feel like they genuinely are into what we're doing and like our music and like our attitudes, and they want to help us, not take advantage of us. But I feel like that's pretty rare right now.
Right, yeah.
I feel like we're super lucky to have this opportunity, and